KFGM Ballroom sessions are made possible by generous donations from individuals, businesses, and organizations in our community. If you would like to be involved in supporting local music by donating to this program, please visit 1055kfgm.org, click the Donate Today button, and add a note saying that you'd like to support KFGM Ballroom sessions. Located in Missoula, Montana, Rattlesnake Cable Company makes high-quality guitar cables, microphone cables, low-profile patch cables for your pedal board, line buffers, and more. As musicians, we will spend all the rent on instruments and amps and microphones, often overlooking the importance of good cables to let those instruments shine through. These US-made oxygen-free bare copper cables preserve the high end of your signal, and heavy shielding ensures they are quiet and durable for years of use. Learn more at www.rattlesnakecables.com. Back to the Mother Kombucha is a locally produced party for your taste buds. You can find Back to the Mother Kombucha in stores all over the Five Valleys. Back to the Mother's mission is to seek out every alternative in sustainable practices to show how we, the people of this planet, the stewards of the earth, can live abundant, healthy lives in a manner that sustains the earth for generations to come. We may not know exactly what that looks like, but we are here to start the conversation. We are changing the dialogue about how ordinary people can change the world. Like their Facebook page to keep up with updates and events, and find out more at www.backtothemother.earth.
running all night long. Just greet your morning songs, running all night long. Just greet your morning songs when you run all night long. You might end up just greet your morning songs, running all night long. Just greet your morning songs, running all night long. Could I say that I know you well? Could I say that I know you well?
Put his picture in Avenue stand, all the way from here to I am. Just like Superman, his fearless tactics great and huge and grand, and he's got a great sometime. Think he got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. Florida man, it's not my president, it's Florida man, and he's got a great sometime. Florida man, making front page, always posting bail. There ain't no jail that can hold him down. Think you got it all figured out. Here comes Florida man to turn everything upside down. Florida man, retired shifter of the highest degree. He'll worship basalts high on PCP. Another mugshot and again he's free. You think you got it all figured out. Here comes Florida man to turn everything upside down.
You are listening to 105.5 KFGM here in Missoula, Montana. This is the Ballroom Sessions. I'm Gabriel Smith.
Esteban Johnson here. We've got Locksaw Cartel in the studio. It's great to see you guys. How's it going?
Wonderful.
Great, thanks.
Hi.
Hi. Well, how do you guys feel about your performance so far today?
Study?
I thought it was really steady.
I think we've sweated out the tunes that we've just started writing as of recent, so soon we'll play some songs that we know really well.
Yeah, was that that Florida Man? Is that a new one?
It is. And Florida Man will be back again.
Yeah.
Sweet. I heard a little bit of Ween in that Florida Man song. Is that true or not?
Probably so. It's probably Ween inspired. Because Florida Man's kind of evil and Ween's kind of evil.
Right.
So
In a good way.
right, in a good way. Positive
You
things.
gotta let them know.
Yeah. So also kind of listening to what we got so far, I heard a little bit of like Stereo Lab. We got a little bit of what's that other band? Portishead. Kind of got a lot of those vibes going on. Just curious where it came from. Maybe a Bassman.
I like Portishead. I think we've covered them once or twice.
Right on.
What else kind of do you guys kind of listen to when you're trying to figure stuff out, or like who do you draw from?
I think Portishead, Morchiba.
Bonobo
Yeah.
is another influence, at least for me anyway.
I hear that.
I like Modality.
Yeah.
What is that?
They're a local band.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Ruthie Data on vocals. I don't know how to say your last name, Ed.
Ed Resin.
And maybe just go around and do it yourselves, I guess.
That's a good idea.
I'm Ruth Data. I'm the singer for Locksaw Cartel.
I'm Ed Resin. I play bass.
Matt Mischke, I play drums and occasionally sing.
I'm Bethany Joyce. I play keys and some synth.
I'm Chris Duperry. I play guitar.
So Bethany, you just joined pretty recently, right?
I did. Celebrating about a year with these guys. In that span, we've played about 7 public shows. Maybe, yeah, about that. Okay. Yeah, and it's been a wild ride. They are a band that I have admired for some years now. Really nothing like it in Missoula, and I was really excited to learn these songs and be a part of this band.
Right on. And you guys have been together for like 6 years-ish?
Correct. Fall of 2012.
We love Bethany.
Cool. Have the rest of you guys been in the band since then, since the inception, or have people come and gone? Or
I think between everybody else, I'm the only original member besides Chris and Ruthie.
Right on.
Still here
You're very special, Matt.
after all these years.
why have you guys remained a band over the last few years?
That's a great question.
We're still wondering.
We just keep writing songs, so we keep playing them. And we feel that we need to just play them. So, here comes Florida Man again.
Turning everything upside down.
Right on. What's the drive?
I mean, isn't that what every artist wants, is just to play music as often as they possibly can?
Good
With
question.
people that are fantastic to play with. I mean, that's my drive.
I tried to quit for a while. It didn't work. It didn't go well.
Me too, yeah.
Really? You guys have been trying to quit the band for a
No,
while?
I've tried to quit like music
Yeah.
for a brief period of time, and
Just don't
got
sell your
really
gear.
depressed.
I hear that's like where it gets, like you have to get it all back.
Yeah, that's
It gets
tough.
more
Yeah.
expensive to buy it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get
inflation.
a storage unit.
Bandonomics over here.
What drives you guys to play in public?
Ooh, great question.
For me, it's so I don't have to be out in the crowd. I can be on stage and go be away from the crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not my only motivator. Really, with these guys, I think the motivation for me is the songwriting is really, really good, and the choices are just solid, and they get I get a lot of opportunities to kind of paint what I want onto it, and if it works or not, get a pretty honest opinion of what works and what doesn't, and it gives me an opportunity to improve and play more for the song. So that's my
Awesome.
take.
And just to add to that, I'd say that being able to play creative art in front of a crowd at times like these where I think it just inspires people and also can give them some positive reinforcement for their day or night.
Right. When you say times like these, what are you referring to?
Oh, just the current state of the world, the state of our country.
Great time to be an artist.
2018.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, it's always been like this, but it seems to be getting faster, so
Right.
maybe we should start writing faster songs.
So why Missoula though? Why are you guys in Missoula?
I was born and raised here. Bethany, you were born and raised here.
I was not born here,
Ireland.
but I've been a Missoulian since I was 7. Ruthie and I went to high school together, and I thought she was really cool, and we weren't really friends then. But later, we both remained in Missoula, and there's kind of a great exodus of people who leave Missoula, and then the ones who choose to stay, I guess, eventually end up in each other's bands. That's the lesson.
I'm a transplant. I came from Wyoming, so I came here for school in '97 and met my wife and started a family and just been playing music here ever since. So love it here.
Can we hear about what you guys do, like for day jobs, or what your other jobs are? Maybe starting with Ruthie.
I like to make ice sculptures, and I also do a job that I have to do, and that's that.
Same
right.
here. I get up at 5:30 about every day, go to a job, and I take pictures.
Right on.
Montana's beautiful, so a lot of opportunity there.
I do IT, so I'm a nerd. That's about it.
I do some organizing. I also really enjoy to etch-a-sketch, keeping in the vein of activities.
And you're so good at it.
Oh, stop. No, it's a side hustle I've been wanting to develop for quite some time, is just street side etch-a-sketch portraiting. So find me somewhere on the streets if you need your portrait via etch-a-sketch.
Can pay in bitcoins.
I'm also a self-employed electrical contractor, and that's really boring. But I did just start working on amps and fixing old radios. So if you guys ever need anything fixed,
Cool.
Yeah.
bring them my way.
I will.
I'll have
Always.
them done in about 6 or 7 months, but it will get fixed.
So you guys are also into the like lights and like a lot of really cool stage decoration and all that stuff. So just talk a little bit about that. You know, like what you guys do with the stage setups and whatnot.
Well, like
Yeah.
Ruthie was saying with ice sculptures, we are trying to always create different forms of artwork, and then we just started wanting to incorporate that into the stage itself. And so anytime the venue lets us get away with it, we'll set up our own light show, and maybe I'll build lights. Ruthie will create some cool backdrops, and we mix it all together and spend most of our sound check time throwing that up instead of sound checking. But it does help the performance. I really feel it helps the performance.
I mean, it makes it unique. I mean, just to add another element of our own creation it just makes it that much more personal to me. And nothing better than crazy lights that don't hurt my eyes.
And that kind of carries into y'all's practice too. Is that true? Like you guys kind of set.
Yeah, depending if we remember to turn them on. But yeah, for the most part, one black light in the wintertime definitely helps. I swear to God, it's going to make a difference with lack of vitamin D.
Black lights?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about this band. It's just that little something extra that it seeps into the music. It helps inform the music, or I don't know. It's pretty neat to have artistic direction and like an electrician on staff, and Ruth creating awesome artwork as backdrops, because it's really it just definitely adds to the stage presence and the feeling of co-creating in this band.
Mm-hmm.
just go floating by. Such a subtle difference perception makes. In the moment breaks, all your favorite melodies go floating by. Just go floating by. Just go floating by. Such a subtle difference perception makes. In the moment breaks, all your favorite melodies go floating by. Just go floating by. Just go floating by. Just go floating by. Such a subtle difference perception makes. In the moment breaks. All your favorite melodies go floating by. All your favorite melodies go floating by. Floating by. Floating by. All your favorite melodies go floating by. All your favorite melodies go floating by. Are we just ships passing in the night? tomorrow. It's always tomorrow, yesterday. I'm gonna die with my eye on the prize. The golden rose noses hate the corner of space and time. There's always tomorrow, but I threw time in the garbage today. Tomorrow, but I threw time in the garbage today. Tomorrow, never yesterday.
Who would you guys say is the primary songwriter for Locksaw Cartel?
Chris.
I think, yeah, Ruthie and I write most of this, so far. Hopefully that changes one of these days. But yeah, usually
Hint, hint. No.
song comes up and document everything we can in Logic or GarageBand or voice recording, or just write it down or sing it back and forth and then go from there. In the past, we were laying out all the parts, the drum parts, the bass parts, just writing it out and presenting it as almost as if we were covering a song.
Right.
But now, working with, as things have gone by, now we can just present the ideas, present a chart.
Right.
It makes
Or even
it
just
go
present
so
the
much
chords.
faster.
It does. I mean, as for somebody who's playing on it, it's more of a framework to work in. It's kind of a template of ideas. Like, here's the changes. And then, like I was saying earlier, they kind of, play the drum beat kind of like this. Or, that doesn't really work so much. Try something like this. So
Right.
very open, honest instrumentation and open and honest to interpretation. And so I put my own thing on it. And then if it works, cool. If not, then it changes, but it always works for the better
Right.
of the entire song. But it does make learning a lot of songs a lot quicker. Like, they just visionary as far as writing songs. They come so quickly. So we're constantly exploring new material.
Right on. So you guys kind of present a fully mapped out piece to the band.
Right,
And
that's
then
the
they
way
kinda
we've
take
been
it from
doing
there.
it. Correct.
We're just at the point where we don't have to spend 6 hours recording it for them. Like, we can just
Right.
talk to them about it, and that's made it go much faster. Because then the first demos with everyone playing on it, instead of just Chris doing the drums, the bass, the guitar, and the synth, the keyboards, and
Right.
it's more fun that way.
So it's gradually becoming more of a co-creation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cool. And I switching it up a little bit. I want to hear about the worst gig that you guys have played, like your least favorite gig.
As this band or individually?
Oh, I'm talking about Locksaw,
Okay.
Locksaw Cartel.
What was our worst gig?
Yeah, or like least favorite.
Within the past, 5 days? Or we can't name names here.
No, we
but-
can't.
Well, I don't know. Spokane was pretty rough.
Yeah, Spokane. Yeah.
I think that one is
The
the...
Spokane could take the cake.
So I was not a part of the band at that point. Let's talk about Spokane. I want to hear why it was so bad. Let's rip
You're
on
protected
Spokane a
here.
little bit.
You're a safe zone.
Where'd you guys play?
The Big Dipper, if we can say that.
We can.
The pictures looked really cool. I mean, it looked like the coolest place you could play.
Well, it was a cool venue. I mean,
The people were really nice, like the
Kurt Cobain
bartenders.
played there, so I was pretty stoked about that. That's how we walked away with it. Was like, all right, drive time, gas money, motels. Like, at least we got to play where Kurt Cobain did.
Let's just say it was the second booking agent that has been fired that we've played with.
Yeah, she wasn't there. She didn't.
Her boss was there and just totally apologizing to us the entire time. And
Why was she apologizing?
because the booking agent just completely screwed up everything, which in turn got her canned.
And we were led to believe that there was probably going to be more people there than there was. I think it was like
We were
my
supposed to
sister-in-law.
start at 7:30 and we got there at 8:30.
Yeah,
I think
That was-
she didn't install it.
yeah, we were a little late on that, but yeah, 4 or 5 people there,
Maybe.
so it was a long drive.
When
Cool
was it?
venue though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Can't wait to go back sometime.
When was it?
a few years ago, it was like my second show.
2014
Poor
maybe.
Ed rocked
Yeah, 2015.
it though. Ed played fantastic.
Oh,
I
thank
remember
you.
that.
I tried.
Besides that, though,
the best part of that was dropping Ed off in Kellogg, Idaho.
Yeah, I just got out and I was like, I'm going skiing, you guys.
He had a ski gear and
See
a
you around.
bathrobe, and that was it.
I did tell him everything, why don't you?
No, don't tell him everything. I don't know. I don't really think about, like, apart from like the drive time and all that. Like, I can't say there's ever been a single gig I wasn't happy. Like, as long as I'm playing music, I don't really think you can have a bad gig. You always learn something from it. There's always moments that are beautiful and moments that can be really terrible. But that's kind of just the deal when you're an artist. You know, just got to accept that.
Do you guys have a favorite gig that you've played?
For me, it was Halloween when we did the Ween set. I guess the worst part of that was Ed and I wore the They Live masks for our first set, and my wife actually had to bore out pretty much everything that had an opening in it because you couldn't breathe through the mouth. So when you were taking air in, it was coming in through your ears and your eyes, and very surreal and very hot and sweaty. And so we decided never to do that again. But the second set was all devoted to kind of a Ween set, and it was just a blast. So
Halloween.
that was for me.
Do the rest of you guys agree, or?
Well, I only have a year's worth of experience to draw upon. We've played some fun shows at the VFW, at Free Cycles, the Top Hat. I had a great time on Ruth's birthday. We played at the Top Hat.
Yeah, that was probably
February
my
9th,
favorite too.
and that was a lot of fun.
My favorite moment was your first gig when all the gear started lighting on fire.
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, that's how I knew. I was like, Bethany's on fire. This is the perfect piano player.
Except everything will break around me. So other than the gear, it's perfect.
Could you elaborate on your gear catching on fire?
Oh, yeah. I was in the VFW and so you can see I'm using a laptop to run the synth, and the power for this Apple laptop, it started frying into the surge protector. Like it just started smoking. I'm like, I smell something, but there's too much going on and it's dark, and I didn't see it. But afterwards, I noticed that the power supply had been smoking and was charred.
On the recording, you can hear people being like, smells like something's burning. And
Electrical
just,
fire.
Constant reference.
The great electrical fire of 17.
Lovely that it did not ruin any of the show itself.
2017.
So how often do you guys go on the road?
Never.
We just got back from Helena. It's a place in Montana.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, long tour.
Some car fire going on.
Oh my goodness,
Straight to
that was
Helena.
terrifying.
House fires, car fires.
Helena hand baskets.
Yep.
What happened?
Well, we were driving there and we saw the Bonner house fire from the interstate, and then we were coming back and there was a car fire on the pass. So we're just like, I don't know if it was just been so hot outside that things are just exploding into flames or what, but yeah.
It's kind of a
really
running
scary.
theme in your band is this
Things lighting on
I guess
fire,
so.
apparently.
the pyro.
So interesting.
I think
Yeah,
it's
never
probably
thought
the
about
music.
Just waiting to spontaneously combust someday. So,
Hopefully it's while you're playing.
it's going to be. I have a
Every time,
feeling.
man.
So do you guys feel that the instruments y'all are playing are the principal instruments for y'all? Like like Ed, do you play? Do you consider bass your thing? Or?
I've been playing piano longer than I've played bass, so I think I'm just probably a little better at that instrument. But I really like playing bass. I probably enjoy this more now these days.
Cool.
Yeah, Ruthie plays some ukulele. Not in the band. And Bethany, plays everything else.
No. I've been playing cello a little longer than I've been playing piano, but I love piano. It's my favorite instrument to play. But yeah, I think everyone in this band is a multi-talented individual, and Ruth is an amazing keyboard player, and I always try to get her to play keyboard so that I could play cello or other things in the band at some point, and she's so far slightly unwilling, but she just does great things otherwise, so I'm happy to play keys.
I guess my applied area in school was saxophone, and self-taught on the drums. Just always wanted to play drums ever since I was 5, so
Yeah.
figured I'd do it.
Do you foresee any sax playing in Locksaw Cartel?
Maybe.
I would love that.
Yeah,
That'd
it's a
be rad.
possibility. I'd have to crack it open, and been a long time, honestly, but
Yeah.
I could probably do it if we had a sampled drum part or something.
Right.
You do
Dad
great.
wanted to play drums because he did that in school. So
No way, man. Matt is such a good drummer. It's like alchemy to me.
oh,
It's intimidating.
Right on. Well, I just got one last question. I've seen some sweet stickers on a couple of y'all's water bottles.
Ooh, yeah.
That looks quite like the Fox News logo, but it says Locksaw Cartel on the bottom with like the two headlights or whatever, or like the lights going up,
Like
marquee
spotlights
lights. Yeah,
or-
spotlights. Just would love to know who designed that, and
So you're just calling out a copyright infringement on community
You wanna know
radio.
the name? I think his name was Esteban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Estebonston.
Esteban Johnson.
His son did it, and
Yeah, it was his son.
cool.
I don't know. He left a long time ago.
Well,
yeah. And what was the idea behind his design? I don't recall.
I think that we were trying to see if we could shoot a satellite signal
Was it?
into another
I think
place.
that memory was wiped from the hard drive.
The MIB, came and wiped those memories. I'm
I do
pretty
not
sure.
recall.
The room.
But Locksaw has that nice X sound in it, like some unnamed news syndicate.
Amen.
Right on.
it.
Do you guys have any plans to record an album?
We just did. No.
Yeah, hopefully once this new material is materialized, is that right?
Nice way to
Then
put
we
it.
will
It's a backwards
hopefully
way
do
to
an
put it.
EP or maybe a full album after getting these multitude of songs played and seeing which ones are good and which ones are not, and picking the best and going forward from there. Like I had said the other day, I think it is worth documenting once we get to the point where we're solid, and hopefully at that point we can also do a little bit of driving down the road and playing some more shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ruth and Chris are like a pretty incredible creative team, and there's a large poster of all the song names in the practice space, and over half of them I've never played, but there's a lot of songs that these two have written, and so that's really fun to be a part of. It's just a vast well to draw from, and depending on what we want to do, there's a lot of options. But I really like the new material that we've been writing lately, and one of the songs we just played for the first time out in public at Jester's, and it was really fun to try it out. Florida Man. I'm not sure if that one will be on this session or not, but
He'll be back again no matter what.
it always crops up in the news.
Do you guys have a studio in mind that you want to record at when that time comes?
We do not. But if you have any good suggestions, let us know.
Well, it's expensive.
Well, yeah. Truthfully, we'll probably just go with the drum room and do the rest of it ourselves, and then let somebody else
Right.
mix and master it, because we are way too artistic to let someone else do it.
Yeah. What did you guys have any thoughts on like the culture of how the music is changing and bands don't seem to be able to afford to like go into a big studio, and yet the technology of doing it yourself is way more accessible?
Absolutely. I wish it was like everything was like, what was the studio where Tom Petty always recorded? Sound City?
Oh, yeah.
I,
In LA.
that would be wonderful, but yeah, when we're just scraping by and doing what we can, and now we have to record. So yeah, it would be nice to have a huge room accessible where we didn't have to spend thousands of dollars, but I think we'll just go for it and then let some masters go through and fix everything.
Masters.
The master.
Yeah.
Not fix everything, mix it down, master it down.
You just record a demo and then hire professionals to do each of our parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I'll probably just text
like
to speech it, actually. I found this text to speech app where you can just like put in your demo
Oh,
and
yeah.
it produces a,
text to speech
Perfectly-
and then running
Yeah.
through auto-tune. It's perfect.
Yep.
right?
I'll just have my cell phone do all the
So
drum
much to
parts
do.
because it'll be a lot more
Okay.
convincing,
Sure.
at least. So
Technology is
good.
amazing.
yeah,
That'd be good for you.
probably.
And me.
and for the band and for the songs.
Right. We'll let cell phone go on tour.
With
Put
that
it on
being said,
stage.
this is an incredible opportunity for projects in Montana. So thank you very much.
Yeah, totally. This is such a great thing that we get to do. Ballroom sessions, community radio. It's awesome.
105.5 KFGM Community Radio Ballroom Sessions 105.5 KFGM
Is there a place we can go where we can leave it all behind just for a little while? Maybe longer if we need. So take good care of yourselves. Sometimes we start all over. Start all over and again. Show me a place in the sky where I can find you in the end without ever letting go. Or will I follow the light again? So don't let go of yourselves. Sometimes we start all over. Start all over and again. Is there a place we can go where I can find you in the end without ever letting go? Or will I follow the light again? So don't let go of yourselves. Sometimes we start all over. Start all over and again, 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 and again. Every once in a while, I find myself aligned with time. With time, with time. Oh, I wish you were here, and I see that I'm there. We are everywhere. Every once in a while, I find myself aligned with time, with time, with time. With time.
started the game all over again. As the firelight turns low, it enlightens all we know. In the morning, dazed and lost, for the envelope has tossed you out again. You left behind the pipes and dreams, exactly what the world can bring me. The left behind the past and dreams, exactly what the world can bring me. We have it all up in this divine conversation. We have it all in this divine conversation. Remember, for the best ideas came before the rest. Disregard the second chance to get it back. Get it back now. Get it back now. The left behind the past and dreams, exactly what the world can bring me. The left behind the past and dreams, exactly what the world can bring me. We have it all up in this divine conversation. We have it all in this divine conversation. It all up in this divine conversation. We have it all in this divine conversation. We have it all up in this divine conversation. We have it all in this divine conversation. just to go find some leeches. Walked out to the middle just to hear what they are thinking. Please rake them up all the time. Please rake them up all the time. Went out to the meadow just to go find some leeches. Walked out to the middle just to hear what they are thinking. Please rake them up with diamond. Please rake them up all the time. Get yourselves by. This sanguine altar's breaking. It can't take long to know.
Do you guys remember the first record or CD or the first thing that you ever purchased? Be it whatever format it is, CD, cassette. I don't know how old you guys are, but
I'm very old, and I do, yes.
all right. Yeah.
I think my first tape was Matthew Wilder. He did that Never Gonna Break My Stride song.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
So that really dates me. And then my first CD was Helmet Meantime, which
Right on.
I played the
Very-
crap out of and still listen to today.
Different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of years in between those two. So
Yeah.
I remember budget CDs, kind of where CVS is now, and I bought a Third Eye Blind CD as a gift for my sister, who loved that band. And I think one of the first CDs I bought for myself, embarrassingly, is Eiffel 65. That I'm glued already. That song, but. Yeah, I'm really into soundtracks. I'm a classical music nerd, so I love orchestral music. I love soundtracks, and not as much of a rock fan. So I guess it's strictly classical and Eiffel 65 for me.
Anybody else?
Awesome. I think I don't think this was my first one, but I had Guns N' Roses on tape and Two Live Crew on tape. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Yeah.
I came home from school. I think I was in like 5th grade or something. So that dates me. But she was listening to Two Live Crew. My mother is. And I walk around in the kitchen. She's like, why are you listening to Two Live Crew? And she takes it out, takes the tape out and says, this is garbage. This is absolute garbage. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, of course it's absolute garbage. It's hilarious. She takes it and just cracks it in half. And I really realized the strength of her hands at that point. Also found my Guns N' Roses tape and did the exact same thing.
Wow.
She did?
Yeah, she broke my tapes, man.
Why?
Because she thought it was offensive, which it is. I just thought it was hilarious, though. But so now I'm really a Guns N' Roses fan, and I still think they're awesome.
Was it Appetite for Destruction?
Yes.
Maybe your
course.
mom just really likes to break
Yeah,
tapes.
she had an
She
appetite
might have a
for
problem with
She has
breaking
an
tapes.
appetite for that, if you will.
I just have to interject. Sorry to hog the mic here, but my sister, my oldest sister, is also really into Guns N' Roses and born right around the same time as Chris. And I think it must be something that growing up in that era, but it's one of those bands that it's really easy to hate, but also kind of like. And yeah, there's a couple moments where like a really good guitar solo is like, this is borderline like, is this influenced by Guns N' Roses?
Bethany, everything that's good is influenced by Guns N' Roses.
In that cold November rain, man. Yeah, just need a little more patience.
More
Butt
of a
rock is
welcome
a
to the
fine
jungle
line.
kind of
You
girl.
can't go across it.
No, what is the line with butt rock?
It's
though?
a very fine line. That's all
It's
I
like
know.
a crack.
Don't fall into
More of a
it.
You don't want to
crease.
fall into that crack.
We do have some butt rock songs that we wrote. What's that
Yeah.
one song?
Rock show?
Rock Show,
Bridges?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, Meth Bridges and the Boys.
Slamming the tailgate.
Slam and
Oh,
Tailgate.
that's the country album.
That's a
That's
country
different.
album. Yeah.
We'll do
Coal
that later.
Dumpin' was another song we wrote.
Yeah.
Nice.
Classics.
How supportive are your guys' families of your musician lifestyle and your choice to play music?
Mine is extremely supportive. A very loving, caring wife and 2 boys. One is out of our house now, and the other one's 15, he'll be 16 here on Tuesday. And I keep asking him, it's like, so does this make me a bad dad? Then I'm going on tours, and we're not on tours, but playing shows and staying out late and stuff. He's like, no, because I think I want him to see me do what I want to do and what I love to do. I want him to have that kind of, I want him to aspire to that too when he grows up. I want him to have something he's really passionate about, and he can be supported in that either by us or by his spouse or whatever. So
Awesome. Anybody else?
My parents were always all about music. My dad was a guitar player, and
Right on.
they were really supportive. Now my partner Valerie, she jokes that she was in the band before I was because she's been to like literally every show.
she was.
So she's also hugely supportive.
So your parents weren't destroying any of your tapes growing up?
One time my dad and I made an agreement that for Lent I would stop listening to Marilyn Manson if he stopped listening to Rush Limbaugh, and I think it
Good
it
trade.
worked out well for both of us. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I feel really lucky. My parents are both creative types. They've always worked for themselves and always encouraged me to not follow the safe track. And I have a very supportive partner as well, who is also a musician. So that helps kind of understand each other.
Next question.
Where on the spectrum of just a hobby or like a full, like all-consuming passion, where do you place being a musician?
Of all the hobbies?
No, like, is music to you closer to a hobby or more of just like it's like what you do?
I don't think there's anything else I'd rather do than play music. Work? No, not really. No, I think playing music is the top.
Right on.
And Ruthie and I, we both write everything, so we have each other's support when...
If it could be playing music or playing music with you, I'd say music with you. as the top.
Spectacular. The sirens. The sirens are coming.
Probably another car fire somewhere or something.
Sweet.
I would
Is your
say
gear on fire, Bethany?
I'd say the music that I choose to make kind of doesn't make it a hobby anymore. Like, it can't be. It has to be a little bit more involved because it's going to take a bit more of a commitment time-wise to rather than just bash out a few covers or whatever. A lot of the original material takes a lot more effort, and it is work. Recording sucks. It's not fun, but it's better than working a day doing something else.
True.
I feel that way too.
If it was financially feasible,
I don't think recording sucks.
Just hard.
See, that's where Matt and I differentiate.
Frustrating.
I like recording. I think it's awesome. There's nothing I'd rather do than that.
Except when you're having to put the drum beats down.
Yeah.
Matt, just come to our house in the middle of the night when we're writing.
Okay. Give me a call.
if it was financially feasible, would you guys want to have the opportunity to be full-time musicians?
I would, absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
I think we all would.
Yeah.
And I think that's something every musician wants.
I've wrestled with it a little bit though, because I think being a professional takes just being comfortable with monetizing it, and that's
True.
the thing that feels weird in our society sometimes. And sometimes I feel better without the pressure of like, I need this band to make my rent. You know, it's
Right.
I'm not at that stage right now. I've dabbled with doing exclusively music, and it's hard and not fun all the time. So like, I wouldn't say that. I think all the circumstances would have to be just right to feel supported enough to be able to make art. But I think it's nice to have nice to cultivate varied interests and have something to decompress from when you're playing music. I think playing music all day, every day is awesome, but there's also has to be some growth that outside of music. I think cultivating a worldly view and empathizing with other people is really important. And I think staying kind of aloof from all of that and just creating is awesome and it feels good, but there's a point where I think I need something more too. So sorry to disagree, but yeah. Awkward.
Disagree with playing music?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little bit worried when I do make money playing our music because I'm like, I just want to put every single emotion or any single thing I have into it. And I feel like it's just kind of like a give and take thing where if you give it all your energy and you put all the money back in, and maybe you take the gig money you got that wasn't even that much and you give it back to the sound guy or the band that was opening to you. And just the more energy that you put into things, the better. And money is energy, but it's not some form of it that I really like dealing with very much. And it's probably why it just kind of slips through my fingers. But, it's not about that to me. And what is important is being able to afford to do what we do to the best of our abilities. Songs about cats.
Late last night I was lying in bed. I had a little cat attack my head.
Cat fight. Itty bitty little black and white. Not gonna get any sleep tonight. Itty bitty little black and white. Not gonna get any sleep tonight.
I turned on over to Yellow Eyes as she stared me down. It's not fury time.
Cat fight. Itty bitty little black and white. Not gonna get any sleep tonight. Itty bitty little black and white. Not gonna get any sleep tonight.
I grab her tail and she swats me down. I'm gonna run that cat straight out of town.
Cat fight. me all throughout the night. Lead a black and white and text me all throughout the night.
sister, don't let me drown. Sneaky little sister, don't let me drown. And down here oh so long with this lonesome sound. You walk me to the edge of town. 10 miles you walk me to the edge of town. You say that whole town was raging to put me in the ground. with guns held high. Hounds they barking along with guns held high. Sneaky little sister, don't let me die. Sneaky little sister, don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Yeah, don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Yeah, don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Don't you let me die.
So you guys have obviously been playing music longer than you've been playing with Locksaw Cartel. So kind of either with the band or without the band. I mean, what are some lessons you guys have learned throughout the whole experience?
Well, I guess I'm the oldest one. I've been doing this for about 30 years, just in various bands ever since I can remember. And, and you learn a lot, I think, throughout the course of it. Everybody's got their own journey, but I think communication, musically is important, but also communication just in general, just how's your day kind of a thing. Really get to know people. I mean, in the course of many, many bands, I've still in contact with most of the people I've played music with in various bands throughout the years and various locations in my life. And so met some incredible people, and I don't know, I think that's just probably one of the biggest, things I could suggest going forward if you wanted to do it. Got to be able to communicate.
I think I would say don't fall into the trap of letting other people tell you what's good and what's not good, because everybody has an opinion about music and very strong opinions, but when it comes down to it, what speaks to you and what's good, and it's important not to lose that, and this is a world that is very eager to take that away from you sometimes.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I've learned is just when I come up against some kind of wall musically or creatively in constructing a song or helping develop a song, I just reminding myself, it's not really about you. It's not all about you. And to step back and listen in the room and decide when the right moment is to add something. I think playing in any band, any size, from being a duo to, an 8-piece band, just listening to your bandmates, listening to the tone of the song, and just being an active listener is the biggest thing I've learned musically.
Always carry a 9-volt.
Yeah.
It was it's the thing all year long that has just been putting me in a very bad position. So always
9-volt
carry an extra 9-volt.
Battery?
Yes.
And don't tell Ruthie where your 9-volt is.
I owe you so many. It's Costco.
And you can always take a 9-volt and some steel wool if you need to start a fire somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
a good
If you're in
lesson.
dire
Just a little
need.
bit of smoke.
And to add to that, I'd say take it slow, and for anyone who's up and coming, just to music theory, there's nothing bad about learning as much as you can. Any chance you can get, it'll help you in the long run.
Do you guys, do you consider yourselves friends? Do you hang out and not play music?
Is that possible? I mean, even it isn't the best of friends the ones you do play with.
True, but
Yeah.
do you hang out and not play music just to hang out because you're friends?
Oh yeah, in various
Yeah.
forms, we've all hung out, and it's not always just band practice. Ed, you were there.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
No, funny enough, Ed and Matt once Ed joined the band, they both realized they lived 2 houses away from each other, so we call them the Brig Street Boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
Sig.
Soggy Bottom Brick
Yeah.
Street Boys.
Soggy Brig Street Boys.
Yeah. And I just moved to a house pretty close to Ruth and Chris, and hope to be hanging out more. These guys are awesome people. Outside of being in a band with them, it's really, really cool to get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
In space and time.
Yeah. We always have tomorrow.
Always tomorrow.
Always.
What are you guys' favorite venues in Missoula to play?
Free cycles.
Free cycles.
Place is awesome.
I like the hat too. I mean, it's pretty sweet these days. I really like working with Isaac McElderry. He's done a fantastic job, and he's been playing, working with us for years. And he started our first show on Lights, and now he's running sound and mixing there. And so, also part of the experience with the venues has been the people we've gotten to work with, and so that's made that amazing for us, for me especially.
Yeah.
I like the VFW too. I like the Top Hat, but the VFW is so much fun just because it's so small and you can really get intimate with the crowd and set power adapters on fire and
Yeah.
People in the eyes.
And just the way that it's structured in there, it lends itself to being a listening room. There's really little you can do to have a conversation in there because it's so loud in that room. So unlike a larger place like the Top Hat that has a bar in the room, you don't get as much of the chatter. So it's a little more focused on the music, which I really like venues that are focused on music rather than drinking.
It always seems like we're more comfortable with the VFW too, so I'd probably have to second that. I mean, it's just the Hat's fun, but VFW is a comfortable place to play. It's always a lot of fun.
Right.
So, tell me about the evolution of the Missoula music scene, as you guys have seen. I mean, Ruth and Bethany have been here for quite some time, and I'm interested in y'all's observations and everyone else, obviously too.
Whoa. Well, yeah, I've been in Missoula since '93. I started playing out in bands when I was about 19 in 2005. And before that, I was kind of sheltered in classical music world and playing orchestra and chamber music. And that's its own scene unto itself, which is awesome that we have that in a community this size. But the music scene has changed so much. I've seen so many venues come and go, so many awesome bands come and go. I mean, I always joke like some bandmates just go to any thrift store and there should be a whole like vintage Missoula band tees section because there's so many great bands that have since disbanded. And I feel like there's been waves of genres. There's been a lot of cool cross-pollination between people who play music that is to an outsider might seem like very different types of music get kind of mashed together in the creative stew that is the vortex of the Missoula Valley.
For me, when I first moved here, Jay's Upstairs was just a fun place to go to listen to music.
Where was that?
Jay's Upstairs.
Where was it?
Oh, downtown.
It was on front Main Street.
It's
Wasn't
where
it?
the loft is now.
Yeah, the loft is there now. But, there'd be people like smoking and drinking, and there'd be somebody that came through doing their laundry, and there was like a place to do your laundry, and there was like a punk band and like 5 other people there on a Tuesday. But, it's just saw so many acts there, so many, like kind of what Beth was saying, is just a big mix of different genres and people and a lot of cross-pollination, like you said, and it was just in your face, and it was a fun place to be. It was always loud, but I was constantly amazed by the quality of musicianship even back then, and it varied depending on what you were into, but it was a fun place to start out. That's ended up on that stage a lot back in the day.
They always let me in when I was underage. It's a great bar.
Same with my wife.
Yeah, I missed out on that experience. I was just on the cusp, but you were cool enough to get in, I guess. I wasn't.
Bethany, you didn't drop out of high school. That's what happens when you go to Jay's.
Lesson learned.
Do you guys have any favorite bands, Missoula bands, that are playing right now?
Oh, yeah. I love the Lane Splitters. Caroline Keyes, anything she does is amazing. There's so many good bands in Missoula, though.
I know it's kind of overwhelming when you try to actually put your like which one.
Not your absolute favorite necessarily, but just what comes to mind.
One of my best friends, Lee McAfee, she's in Mudslide Charlie's, and watching her voice just over the years has been so enjoyable just to hear and see her playing. And she's a wicked guitar player too. So I really thoroughly enjoy watching her and listening to her voice.
Yeah, I'd have to say Jones N. I like her band. I like all these bands that play at the Union Club, even though most of them are cover bands. They're awesome. Mm-hmm. And of course, the Little Smokies. They're still awesome.
Yeah.
They're not here.
Well, they're here sometimes.
They're off doing great things. We're all very proud
They're
of them.
ambassadors.
Yeah. They're goodwill musical ambassadors. But, yeah.
And there's some other band that's pretty new. I like Ocelot Captain or something. Ocelot Wizard, maybe. Is that?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're really good.
They understand about cats.
Yeah, big feral cats are something we don't talk about enough on community radio. All right, bobcats, lynx. Let's go. Let's name all the large cats we can.
Oscar.
I feel like it's worth. Oh, okay.
Is that the sign
it's
that's
worth
over?
shouting out to the real leader of this band, which is Oscar. We are a part of Oscar's army, and he's a really dignified fellow.
It's a black and white
He's
cat.
a little.
He has many songs written about him.
What,
Tuxedo
3
Cat.
songs so far devoted to Oscar?
Oh, you
No,
haven't
there's
seen
like
all the other ones.
8.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Oscar, I mean, I'm
forward to
allergic to
those.
cats, and most cats I'm like try to avoid like the plague. And I think Oscar's the first cat that I kind of just like. We came to this really cool understanding, and now I just love him so much. And
The moral of the story
Yeah.
is you only need one good cat
yeah,
named Oscar.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything taller. Call us when she's 10 feet taller. And when you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going too far, tell him I'll go. Smoking caterpillar has given you the call out when she's 3 feet taller. When the man upon the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you've just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind is moving lower, go ask Alice. I think she knows when the logic and proportion have fallen slowly dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen is off with the head. Remember what the dormouse said. Free your head. Free your
You are listening to
105.5
on your FM dial.
Community Radio. Community